Hey, what's up everybody? Rhino G here. I'm going to make a quick tutorial. I wouldn't say quick. It's kind of like a 30-minute tutorial, as quick as I can, on how to get started in speedrunning Dead Cells. This tutorial is going to be for PC only, because there's no way you can actually transfer the full files into console, and if there was, it might be a little bit difficult, or I just don't know. But first of all, so to get started, you'll want to go to the Dead Cells speedrun page, speedrun.com and Dead Cells. You go under resources. You'll grab this file, unless you have everything unlocked for the game. This will give you everything fully unlocked for the game, mutations, weapons, and everything. So you'll want to download it, and I have it downloaded right here. Once I have it downloaded, I'm going to extract it. It shows up as this RAR file, so I extracted it. You just right click and then extract here. If you don't have that option, you need to download WinRAR or whichever thing you can find to unzip something. So after that, you'll have this file, and then that's pretty much all you're gonna need to have for now. And then what you're gonna want to do is go to your Steam, and then you're gonna be looking for the game. You're gonna be looking for the game folder, which is, so you go to C drive or wherever you installed Steam, and you go all the way to Steam, and then go to user data, Steam, and then user data. If you have one account, you don't have to worry about like all these folders, but if you have multiple accounts, you have to find out which one is going to have the Dead Cells game in it. And then if they all have it, then I mean, you just have to find out which one you're using. This is the one I'm going to be using, because that's the main account I've been using for Dead Cells. And this 588650 is that's the Dead Cells game ID folder. So you open that and go to remote. Once you go there, you should, if you've been playing the game, you'll find like maybe these files, depending on how many saves you've made. These are like settings that I've had. But aside from the point, what you're gonna do is replace the save that you want. So like if you don't have a save, or if you want to make a new save and then have a full unlock file, you go to the game and you let's say slot 7 for me, since it's pretty much empty. If it's not empty for you, then you'll want to like delete a file. So you delete it, and then you create a game there. So I selected 7, and then I'm just gonna start a new game. And then after I start a new game, I don't have to do anything. All you have to do is leave. So just quit, and then it creates a file. Once it creates a file, if you go back to the folder over here, it'll be user_6, because it starts off at 0. So this is save file 1, save file 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, so that's pretty much that. Anyways, so since I made a slot for 6, this one over here, or 7, sorry, slot 7, what I'm gonna do is, since I want that to be a full unlocks, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna rename this file that I extracted to user_6, and then I'm just gonna replace it. Replace, and there we go. Oh, I'm pretty sure I'm done with that, so I'm just gonna close these, and if it says it's not compatible with the current version, I'm just gonna quit, and then I'm gonna reopen the game. Oh, it was downloading. So let's see. It should work at this time. There you go. So once you restart the game, it'll have everything unlocked, and then you can go to custom mode. Custom mode basically is how we're gonna speedrun the game, because what you're gonna do is for us, we just pick any custom preset and then have certain equips. So you have everything unlocked, as you can see here. Once you have everything unlocked, now we can actually start the whole speedrunning thing. And what we're gonna start off with is, like I said, you pick a custom preset because that's just, you know, so we have access to it all the time, unless you want to change things up. And since this is any percent, what you're gonna have is the weapons you're gonna have are that we found the fastest. You can always experiment, but it's up to you. The ones that we found the fastest is Ice Shard, and we're gonna make this an S quality by you know, changing the quality as it says. You're gonna use that. You're gonna grab the Assault Shield, which is the portion of the main movements that we're gonna be using throughout the whole run. And then we're gonna use Heavy Turrets. There we go. You can always mix and match. I used to mix and match, but now I just use Heavy Turrets as well. After that, you can leave all of these like checked, but you want to change the mutations, so it helps with faster menuing during the run. So the ones you want to keep are the default ones. Let's see. These, I will show you in a second, are the defaults. If I'm not mistaken, these are the defaults. You can always join the Discord, the Speedrun Discord. It's going to be posted there under announcements, if I'm not mistaken. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yes, I'm pretty sure that this is all of the default mutations that you must have selected at all times while you do the run. Otherwise, it would be invalid. And then you want to get the mutations that you're going to use during the run, and the ones that we use during the run is velocity, support, and some people use instinct, some people use masochist, and someone use triage. So the third one is very optional. It's up to you, whatever you're comfortable with, but most people use masochist now because of the movement speed boost and the reduced damage you take from spikes. So after you have all that set up, you go to advanced options. Scroll down a little bit. You want it to be on permanent timer because we use in-game timer. It has to be a permanent timer so that it tracks the time accordingly for the speedrun.com, so that it's the correct time. We used to use loadless time, or time with load, sorry. So the loads would count, and you know, you would have a slower run if your computer wouldn't load fast enough. Which was a disadvantage for some runners. But now we use the permanent timer. So now we start the run, and now begins the main speedrun. As you can see here, it shows 1S, and that's not what you want. I'm going to be showing you how to smuggle a higher level items. And the higher level items come from 4 boss cell, and as I showed you before, since you unlocked everything, you should have 4 boss cell. You go to this flask thing over here, and you started at 0, you just change it to 4. Once you change it to 4, you can restart. And once you restart, you'll have Roman numeral 4S. And that's all you want to know about smuggling. You'll just start with that, and then when you bring it back to 0, and you bring it back to 0 boss cell, you'll keep the 4S items, which is the highest you can have for any percent speedruns. So right here, I'm going to tell you about the affixes that you want to have. The main affixes you want to have are inflammable oil, which you see at the bottom right. It says inflammable oil on enemy. It's not the one specifically that I want, but it's better than no oil at all. You want to make sure you don't have burns. That's on my shield up top here. Upper right, it's on my shield. It has burns enemies blocked with a parry. So if I parry someone, they'll burn. You don't want that because if you have oil, it'll burn the oil and you won't be able to crit with your ice shards. If you look at my shards, I have 2 tactics. That's very good as well. And it also has 100% poison. The 100% poison isn't like necessary, but if I did have on my bottom left turret or my bottom right turret at the same time with oil. If I had Poison Cloud or applies poison, then it would be good because it deals double damage if they're poisoned. So this is a good setup, and I'm just going to go run with it. So first off, we're going to be starting in prison quarters. All you have to do basically is find the exit as fast as you possibly can. It's like a small maze. It's not too confusing. The main thing you want to look out for is a vendor. Once you go past a vendor or after a vendor, you don't go necessarily through the vendor. But once you see it, you'll know you're going the right direction. Another thing I forgot to mention is the main movement of the speedrun, which is assault shield boosting, which is, if you look at, let me pull it up, this right here, you can see the button inputs is shield, to use the shield, and to roll. But it has to be like within like a second apart. It's not too tight, it's not exactly at the same time, but you just have to, you'll get used to it once you like do it a little bit. So it's triangle, circle, triangle, circle, triangle, circle. And that's the most movement you wanna, that's the movement you wanna do throughout the whole run, just to get around faster. There is a list of techniques and movements that are also going to be in the speedrun Discord for under guides. This is just going to be a tutorial on mostly like how to do the whole thing all together and how to set it up. So the first mutation we're going to take here is velocity, and here is the reforger. All we're gonna do is, if I didn't have any oil and I wanted to reforge for oil, I would just, you know, go under here and reforge for it. But right now, since I have 100% poison, I do want a poison cloud. We'll see if I can get it. And I reroll a couple times. There's a generate toxic cloud, which is good. So I'll toss it. And there's my toxic cloud. What I would like for my oil is, if it spreads around the trap, that would be the best ideal one that I want. I don't have to worry about burning the oil right now because it's on parry, and I don't do much parrying. Also, I don't have the trap around, the oil around the trap spread. So now we're in Promenade, which you'll only find one scroll here. One triple scroll, I should say. Which is one thing that you'll be looking out. And in the last map, you'll find 2 triple scrolls. In this map, you'll be going all the way to the right. It doesn't matter. Like, to find the exit, it's always going to be all the way in the right. So, you just continue on this way. And since I found the triple scroll, I'm not going to be looking too much for another scroll, because the other scrolls that will show up are most likely doubles, and a good amount of times they're not going to be damage that I need. You'll always want to put your scrolls under tactics, because that's where all your damage comes from. So I didn't find any of the double scrolls, and as you saw, the exit was just straight all the way to the right. And as you can tell, the run goes very fast so long as you know where to go and have an idea. The next one mutation you want to take is support or masochist. It's totally up to you which one you want. It doesn't really matter much in the next map. You can heal up. It doesn't waste any time. Time pauses there. With a permanent timer, it just pauses during cutscenes and loads. So I just healed and got masochist. And this is ramparts. We recently found a tell, and the tell would be, if I see it, I'll show you. You'll be pretty lucky to see it. If you don't know, again, the Speedrun Discord, you can always ask there, or you can look around. It should be there. So I'm grabbing a brutality scroll just for some health, for safety. You don't need to, but it's better safe than sorry. And while you're in the skill, when you pick up a scroll, it also pauses time, so you can take your time with it, but don't take too much time. I missed the triple scroll. I'm just gonna grab it. And continuing on. So I still haven't found the tell. If I do see it, I will let you guys know. But if you don't see any tell, then you're gonna go all the way to the right. The exit's also all the way to the right. As you can see right here, this is the exit. I didn't see the tell, unfortunately, so you're going to have to ask in the Speedrun Discord for Dead Cells, or you can go to my channel, which I'll leave in the description below, or Rockstoom's channel as well, which I'll also leave in the description below. Both of us stream just as often, and we'll be very willing to help you. So here we have the first boss. Very easy boss. You just lay down your turrets, apply oil, and just do as much damage as you can, as fast as you can. Every time he screams, he puts a shield around him, so that slows it down a little bit. You want to have as much damage as you can, so he does less screams. After you beat him, you don't have to pick up anything. You just go to this first time door that we're gonna grab, and we're gonna pick up this amulet. This amulet's good because on the top right, as you can see, it has tactics, and that's pretty much what we're gonna be looking for. The downside to that is that it has burning on a downward smash. It's not burning in here, but so now we are in Stilt. This one we're gonna be looking for a key. You can always, so if I was down here and I pressed map, you could see that on the map it shows the keys right above me. So I'll be going up here, and I will be grabbing the one key. We only need one key here. And once we grab that key, I used homunculus there just to grab it a little bit faster. And once we grab the key, you want to do the middle skip. So you just come up over the top of the middle, and yeah, go straight down, or up and over the first door where you would normally use the key. If I didn't find the key in the first half, here would be the second chance to get a key, and that's where you would get it. And once you grab that, you still want to go all the way to the right. If you haven't noticed, there's a big pattern of going all the way to the right for all of the exits so far. So I'm gonna go all the way to the right after having key, and bam, there is the exit for Stilt. As you can tell, that was also another short map. Each maps, they don't last very long, especially if you know what you're doing, how to speedrun it. Unless you have like bad luck. So far this run has been pretty kind. Clock Tower is the first of two run killers, I would say. Stilt is kind of, but not really. In Clock Tower, you just want to scale up this wall and go up this elevator. Again, you always want to keep velocity, which I forgot to mention as soon as I picked it up. Velocity is, after you kill 9 enemies, you'll get a velocity buff that's an arrow right above your character's head. And you want to keep killing until, you know, you go through each run. So if you'll notice here, I'll get a couple more kills. And as you can see above my head, I see an arrow. This has 2 tactics, so I'm going to grab this. And in towers, in clock towers, you're going to be looking for another key. It's basically a guess to where the key is. There are 1 in 4 chances, unless you get the tower with... Unless you get the map set up with 3 towers, which would mean one of them, or both, 2 of them are really huge. So you're going to be looking for a key, you're going to be climbing up the towers. It's not too difficult at all to climb, but very time consuming. As you can see, I just picked a random tower to climb because there is no hint. And luckily, I picked the correct tower. As you go along, you want to pick up tactics along the way. 16 tactics already, that's huge. But as you can see, I skipped the first tower on the bottom left here where I'm selecting the teleporter. On the left side, that would also be a possible key tower, and I'll show you why. It doesn't have a teleporter, but if you come across this is the secret to telling if a place without a teleporter is a key. It is this nudge right here. If you see this nudge and no teleporter, that means that could be a possible key tower. But I went up here and went through this teleporter and found the key in there. So now we're just gonna find the exit. Finding the exit isn't too hard. You just want to find a place where there's no teleporter, because the exit will never be behind a teleporter door. So I'm gonna scale this one because I haven't seen a teleporter yet. And here's the exit right here. So the game may be randomized, but you can still tell where to go if you have certain knowledge about each map. Now we're going to be moving on to the clock room, which is the second boss that we're going to be facing, called the Timekeeper. Another very easy boss, kind of like Concierge. You just lay down your turrets, you know, and deal as much damage as you can. That's all there is to it. You know, dodge around, no dodging, no fancy stuff, just dash once, you know, maybe to get out of the way, and then just deal as much damage as you can. You typically want to have around 14 to 16, or 14 tactics or above, I should say. If you have 14 to 16 tactics, 14 tactics and above, you'll always be in a good shape to deal enough damage to kill it as fast as I did. And now we're moving on to Clock Tower. So Clock Tower is the second run killer because we have no idea where anything is. Exit. We want to find these doors though. We want to find these colored doors. You enter each colored door. Sorry. You enter each colored door, and you find an elite boss. You kill the elite boss, and you get a key. But the thing is, we need 2 of these keys now. So you need to find 2 colored doors. I went through green door, and it brings me into another place. If I continue on, I have to look for another colored door. And again, always keeping up velocity and finding tactics, which was really good. The health I don't need so much, so I'm gonna ignore that health scroll that I see up there. And here is red door. As you can tell, it was very hard. Well, not too hard once you get a gist of like the map setup again, but it was a little bit. It took a little bit of time to find each colored door. Then you just kill the elites there and continue on. Now, once you've got both the keys, you'll want to find the exit, which is almost the toughest part. It's gonna be almost majority of the time. It's gonna be as far away from the entrance as possible, which you can see it's right here, and I'm all the way down here. If you haven't noticed, each colored door, you'll go through it, and then if you exit all the way through, you'll end up in a different place. And I'm just gonna guess that exit might be up here. No, it's not up here. So you basically want to make a guess as to where the exit will be. you'll have no clue, no idea, and this is simply why this is the run killer. You don't know where exit is. It's almost completely random, but we know that it's usually far away from the entrance. I found blue door. I no longer need to go through it, but if I'm not mistaken, if I did go through it, the exit will go right after it. Exit's usually near one of the color doors that you just finished. I'm gonna go up here, probably find the blue door exit. There it is, right over here. And if I go right above it, I'm probably gonna find exit right here. So if you haven't noticed, that's pretty much the pattern for castle. It's you find a door, you find a colored door, you go through it, get the key, find another colored door, go through it, get the other key, and if you're lucky, the exit will be right after the colored door that you will be leaving. So that is pretty confusing there, and that's the last run killer, unless you have problem dealing with the final boss, which we shouldn't because we have a lot of tactics. We have 18 tactics, which is huge, would make the boss fight very easy and very fast. Again, in boss fights, all you're gonna do is keep up your turrets, apply oil, and deal as much damage as you can. That was a very fast first phase. Mostly because we have all the tactics that we need. So again, just want to dodge his attacks or parry, your choice, and deal as much damage as you can. He has 2 phases, like of these. He summons elites on each one of the phases. All you have to do is kill the elites and that'll end the phase. Bring the boss down, you can fight him again. And after both those phases, you can finish off the boss as quick as I did. And bring your homunculus out, drop it into the fountain, and that will be the end of the run. 15-minute run tutorial. I don't think that was that slow or that bad of an explanation. I hope you enjoyed the tutorial I made. Hopefully it was somewhat helpful for you. I'll be putting timestamps at the description below so you know where each portion you need to look for is, if you're looking. But after you finish the run, it's very important if you're recording. What you want to do is you want to quit, and then you want to show your custom settings. So again, you just want to show your custom settings to to the recording. Show it to everyone. You can just do it this fast. Just make sure, again, everything. Sorry. Default settings, you just show that. Equipment, you just show this, and this. The bottom portion, the mutations, they have to have the default 8, as I showed you earlier, and the advanced options, they have to be unchecked. They have to be unchecked. You have to have permanent timer selected. Oops. And then you just show the rest is unchecked as well. That's the end of the run. That will verify your run. And that's the end of my tutorial. Again, I hope it was very helpful for you guys. If it was, leave a like. You can subscribe to my channel. I'll be making other Dead Cells videos maybe. I stream a lot. You can follow my Twitch. I'll have it in the description as well. Another helpful streamer, Roxtomb. I'll have him in the description as well. He'll be helping you if you have any questions about Dead Cells as well. If I'm not streaming, he's probably streaming. And that's probably that. So good luck on your runs. It's a very tight game. It's a very fast game. I hope you enjoy. And yeah, please leave a like, and I'll see you guys in the next video.